Hey guys, I'm here. It's Aaron from Diagnostics and Finance, and I've got Jessica from Jessica Louise Naturopath with me today. And we just wanted to share a bit of information on some parallels between what can happen with naturopath and finance. And one of the areas we wanted to talk about was in the line of neurotransmitters. So Jess, which neurotransmitter did you want to talk about today?
Today we'll be talking about GABA and glutamate balance. These are both used for kind of mood control, rest, relaxation, excitement, concentration, memory. They've got a wide range of functions, so they're really important.
So for someone like me doing some mortgages and home loans and running people's numbers, the right balance in these neurotransmitters is quite important so I don't make a mistake. And am motivated to do it for a good outcome. Yeah. All right.
Yeah,
so what's the balance here? How does it work together?
It depends what you want to achieve. So hard when you're trying to remember numbers, when you're trying to get results, glutamate's great. So it boosts memory, concentration, learning. It's going to excite all your neurotransmitters to be firing on all cylinders. When it's not helpful is then later on when you're trying to go to sleep. So that's when we want GABA to come into play to calm you back down and bring out that rest and relaxation for everything.
Perfect. So how do we get an increase to be able to get that concentration and ability to function at peak performance? And then how do we get it out so that we can have the rest and recharging?
So we need proper nutrients to be able to make all of our neurotransmitters, including GABA and glutamate, but all the others as well. So the first steps would be to have a good gut to actually absorb the nutrients, and second would be to be eating and consuming the nutrients you need as well. Going from there, your body knows what to do. It'll make them. We just got to encourage them to put them in the right balance if we've already given it the materials it needs. There are some little extra herbal treatments you can do to boost it along the way. But it just depends if you've got the foundation set already. Otherwise, you won't absorb them.
Awesome. Is there anything with mood that can help people get into like the attentive, the focus, to things like that, like achieving a goal, getting a win in life and business that can help with these neurotransmitters as well?
So whenever your moods get excited, these neurotransmitters naturally get boosted. Glutamate's always going to be dominant over GABA, so that's great if you want to be excited all the time. But when excitement gets too much, that's when you get anxiety, because they're very similar feelings. So glutamate's naturally going to be boosting. It's GABA we've got to supplement a little bit more to make sure it's got its right things it needs.
So I sometimes put a little scenario around it. I have clients that get their heart and emotions set on a house to purchase, whether it's their first house or their next house. And there's a few processes that have to go in place to get the contract reviewed so there's no nasties there, the pest and buildings inspection so there's no nasties there, and then we need the finance approved. And that can take a bit of time. So I would imagine the person buying the home, and I've seen it and I've coached people through it and I've done the financial sort of strategy with the people, I'd imagine these neurotransmitters just go nuts during a process of maybe 10 days or 5 days to get exchange on the property that it's theirs and not just in their mind.
Yes, that's right. So it'll be firing as soon as they get excited and they start getting results, they start meeting with you, and then luckily you do things quickly, so they're not in that state for too long. They get the results they want and all the excitement of the finalizing the sale is all sorted, and you make it easy for them. But if you weren't there and this kind of excitement and more like adrenaline rush keeps going, that's when everything starts getting depleted and the excess symptoms come out, which is the anxiety, insomnia, depression, poor gut health, cravings, things like that pop out.
So when you're going through a purchase that takes a few days and you're excited about it, and there might be little stresses along the way, there's a bank value we're going in that I as the broker don't have control on, neither does the bank, and it's all up to other people outside our control. What things can we do to keep a balance in a stressful situation like buying a house or trying to secure what your dream is?
So we've got to keep that GABA glutamate balance in check, mainly the GABA, so to keep everything calm and happy and relaxed. So to do that, we've got to involve our nervous system. So we can do that by certain ways, by triggering the parasympathetic nervous system, which is all that side of those relaxation hormones and neurotransmitters. Other things you can do is make sure you've got a whole and complete diet. There's supplementation you can use. GABA always needs glutamine, zinc, AC, and taurine, and some other herbs can stimulate it as well. So as long it's not a long-term issue, thankfully, because there will be resolution once all the documents get sorted. It's just to keep it in balance whilst it's going on, and in most cases after.
That's awesome. What about keeping busy? What does keeping busy do for these neurotransmitters?
If you're too busy all the time, then we don't get to make those relaxation neurotransmitters. So all the excitement ones, the busy ones, the working hard ones, the ones that kind of boost our function for memory, cognition, things like that, they're all great. But if we keep busy for too long, they get stimulated too much. So they all become in excess. And that will lead to things like the opposite of what they're supposed to be doing. So it'll lead to poor memory, poor cognition, confusion, agitation, stress, anxiety, mood changes. So it's good for short term, these helpful neurotransmitters, but we definitely need a balance between the two to bring them back into check when they get a bit unruly.
And when we're busy and we got some stressful stuff going on, other things other than diet and nutrition what about like going to do something different to what's causing the stress or causing the anxiety over a period of time? That can help as well. So for example, when I'm talking to someone during a cooling off period of a property, them focusing on their job versus focusing on what I'm doing to get their property secured, can help with a balance act on this, inclusive of good sleep and a good diet and a good gut health at the same time.
Definitely.
Yeah.
There's lots of little tricks we can do to force this balance back through. One thing is, change of concentration. Think of something else like you suggested. Other ones are simple as having a mental break, getting outside, getting some exercise, fresh air, some sunlight, things like that. Deep breathing, meditation, particularly breathing and meditation forces our nervous system to produce those calming neurotransmitters. So if it's not doing it naturally, we can force it to behave and calm down. So little things like that. They don't have to be long, just a couple of minutes throughout the day will keep things in check and keep you nice and in a good, stable mood.
I do like the breathing thing. I think we all run around a little bit hypoxic or low oxygen these days anyway. We probably also run around a bit dehydrated as well. So I suppose those two can come into rebalancing these funky neurotransmitters that help us be excited and concentrated, and then help us also to relax at the same time. So there's always those little ninja moves we can do with simple things of oxygen and water. So yeah, very interesting how these transmitters can help people buy a home or not buy a home, or get through a stressful situation with any of their financial needs, or what maybe in this time there where people are having some uncertainty with their jobs, have these things go up and down like a yo-yo. So what would you say is your ideal client, Jessica, to help out with from a naturopath point of view?
Anyone who's feeling any of these stress symptoms, and stress isn't always known straight away. You might not feel stressed, but your body's still showing symptoms, and that can be poor sleep, poor digestion, mood changes, skin changes, pain, inflammation, the whole range of symptoms that all fall under the stress bracket. So when you're feeling stress going through life or mental situations, we've really got to nourish the nervous system, either by directly impacting it or by impacting and making sure our gut's able to absorb the nutrients we need to make what it needs to get us through these times.
Perfect. And I suppose interesting, we don't hear that we talk, a mortgage broker and a naturopath would talk on this level too much out there. So a really balanced budget, bank account, being on top of your finances, can help here as well. And that's where I can come in to make sure that you're either prepared for the purchase of the house, prepared for developing, whether it's a portfolio into investment properties or getting a better rate than you were on before and saving a bit of money, can have a hit of these nice little neurotransmitters at the same time. So how would we find out more about you, Jess?
You can contact me directly at jessicalouisenaturopath.com.au. There's a website, Facebook and Instagram, all the same name, Jessica Louise Naturopath.
And fantastic. We'll probably put some put the links I think it's either up there or underneath the video, whichever platform you're watching us on, to be able to contact either of us to make sure there's a holistic combination of not only your naturopath and natural therapies through to some ninja moves to keep everything stable and also financially being stable as well. So thank you very much, guys, for watching, and hopefully we'll talk to you when we're looking at you.